Hi, I'm Lazy Video Guy. Sorry it's been a while. I've been mad busy with Christmas and I've had a lot of work on, but today I'm finally going to record and actually edit this X-T3 Ninja V video. So there are two reasons you might grab a Ninja V to go with an X-T3. To bypass the H.265 codec, which as we all know is an absolute nightmare to edit with. The second reason is chroma subsampling. The X-T3 internally, although 10-bit, is 420, whereas you chuck a Ninja V on top and you get 422 10-bit. Much nicer to play with in post, in theory. So today what I'm going to do is record internally on that while outputting on the Ninja V, and hopefully we'll see what difference it actually makes. Just so you guys can have a look at this rig with the Ninja V on the X-T3, I've got the Ninja facing me. I'm just going to do a little video on this and you can have a look. That's the 23mm Fuji. The X-T3 is in a small rig cage with a monitor mount on top. We've got the Rodelink on the side there on a side handle, and the Rodelink G3 as well for audio. That's the Anker power bank, and here's the Tascam. As you can see, there's a lot of wires going on. It's not the prettiest rig in the world. I think this would be useful for an interview situation, but personally I would try and avoid using it for run and gun stuff just because it'd be an absolute nightmare. Anyway, let's do it. Okay, so first up we'll look at the 4K 25 out of the Ninja V and the X-T3 internal 4K. Now let's punch in 200% and compare the two. The X-T3 looks a bit more kind of orange. It might be hard to tell, but I've just done a split screen at 200%. Let's slap a grade on it. Now let's punch in. I've offset the timing marginally so you can see the line a little bit better. Looking at Jim's jacket, you can see that the lower section of the frame is marginally more orange. Let's have a look at those waveforms. It's important to note when you, if you have a look at the scopes, if you're using anything over 8-bit 420 to flick it onto float rather than 8-bit or HDR. So here's the internal that's been graded, and here's the Ninja that's been graded. You know, there's so little in it, it's really difficult to see any real differences. On a side note, make sure you're using the render at maximum bit depth tick box in the sequence settings, I think it is. If you don't use that, you actually aren't using all the color information you could be. So I'll put side by side the X-T3 internal waveform followed by the Ninja V waveform with maximum bit depth off, and here's maximum bit depth on. The banding and all the things you're trying to avoid by shooting in 10-bit are kind of redundant and irrelevant if you're not actually using that color information. Anyway, back to it. So now let's move on to the X-T3 at 4K 50 and the Ninja at 4K 50. Now I've deliberately underexposed this in hope that when we pull it, we'll see it kind of breaking apart a little bit. So we'll grade it and then we'll pull up that exposure. And just for my own peace of mind, because I don't really 100% trust Premiere's lumetri scopes, I took this same shot into DaVinci in hope that it would be easier to kind of discern differences. So I copy and pasted the adjustments over so that it's kind of a bit of a fair test. To me, the Apple ProRes looks like it has richer color information. It looks like there's more of it. I think that's why when we flip between the two, when we look at both the grass and Jim's jacket, the jacket seems more orange and the grass seems less vibrant, simply because there's not as rich a color information being recorded. Generally, when we talk about things like 10-bit versus 8-bit, 422, 420, you know, that 10-bit versus 8-bit goes from, say, 100 colors to 1,000 colors, whereas the chroma subsampling is more just the precision of getting that information. So as you've seen in this pretty unscientific test, it doesn't make a huge difference in your average real-world shoot. You know, if you're out and about, or you're shooting some talking heads, or you're running a gun, whatever. However, were I to go and shoot on a green screen, I'm going to want that to be as precise as possible, and that's when you'll start to really notice the difference of that 422. Okay, now let's talk about the second reason you might use something like a Ninja V, which is the main reason I actually got it, and it's to bypass the H.265 codec. That nasty internal compression takes an absolute year to render. I can't scroll it back in real time. FCPX and Resolve do a better job than Premiere, but I'm so invested in the Premiere kind of ecosystem, and a lot of my clients use it as well, so I'm kind of stuck with it. I'm going to show you guys a really quick export test to show you exactly how much faster it actually is. So here I've mocked up a speed test we've got the exact same two shots. One was recorded externally, one internally. So we're just going to try and churn these out in low bit rate H.264s and just see how long it takes. It's taken about 24.5 seconds to render out that ProRes, whereas it's taken just short of 47 seconds to churn out that H.265. We're literally talking about double the export time, double the render time, double the preview time, and it absolutely chugs in Premiere. So to wrap things up, there are a load of reasons you might want to grab a Ninja V. It's not all about the codec, it's not all about the color, it's about the pro monitoring solutions that Atomos give you in their products. It's about recording on settings like an SSD, which is way more secure. It's about being able to actually see the bloody screen, loading in LUTs. You know, there's a lot of advantages to shooting on something like that. Yeah, sorry it's been a while. I won't pretend that I'm going to rush to make more videos soon because I'm pretty much out of ideas now. So chuck in the comments anything that you want to see, whether it be about this rig, this setup, the audio setup, whatever, even the Tascam, the FS5, whatever it may be. I've got a load of lenses now, so maybe something about that as well. Anyway, have a good one.